This is June 2005, question number 10. It says, the diagram shows the supply and demand curves for a product. The government imposes an indirect tax on the product. What will be the outcome of this for the producer's revenue and the incidence of the tax burden? Well, in these kind of questions, what we need to look at is the relative elasticity of demand and supply. If the PED is greater than PES, then this would mean that the burden of the tax will mainly fall on the producer rather than consumer. So the producer will pay the bulk of the tax rather than consumer. And the logic behind that is simply that when you put a tax on a good, when the good is elastic, this means that the consumers will easily be able to find substitutes for the good, and they will switch to those goods where the tax is not levied. So the consumer basically has more flexibility, and producer, knowing that, will decide to pay bulk of the tax. So main incidence of the tax in this case will be paid by the producer, because if you look at the diagram, the demand curve is very, very flat, while supply curve seems more vertical, and therefore also coming from the quantity axis, so which means that PES would probably be less than 1, while PED would be greater than 1, or PED will be greater than PES, and therefore producer will pay bulk of the tax. The second is looking at the revenue. So when we put a tax on a good, the supply curve will shift backward, right? And the price of the good will go up after tax, leading the quantity demanded to fall from Q0 to Q1, right? So when the price of the good goes up and the good is elastic in nature, the quantity will fall by much more and total revenue will fall. So that's why when the price of the good goes up after tax, the total revenue will fall, and that's why the right answer would be B, where the revenue will fall and the main incidence of the tax will fall on the producer, primarily because demand is more elastic than supply.